What a way to start off a 4-game series. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies on Social Media to recap of last night's game between the Phillies and the San Diego Padres as the Phillies defeat the Padres by a final score of 6-2 as Schwarbs and Realmuto both go deep in last night's ball game. Now, guys, before I get into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please share, engage the bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. After getting swept out by the Texas Rangers in the 2-game series, you certainly needed a pick-me-up win, and that is what we get last night. So, Schwarbs with a 2-run home run. Realmuto also going yard. So this offense certainly needed a night like last night, right? I mean, the two big home runs. Right, it was nice to see Realmuto his first home run since May the 26th, right? So that was his first home run in nearly a month. So he certainly was due for one. Kyle Schwarbs gets to 20 home runs now, right? I mean, it's before the All-Star break. It's not even July 1st yet, and he already has 20 home runs. Of course, I'd like to see that average a little bit higher, but that's certainly promising. We're not even, halfway through the season. He already has 20 tags. So assuming he stays healthy, he's going to have over 40. Rangers starts with a solid start last night for the Phillies, going 7 1/3. This is here right now down to 4-2-3. So that was certainly a solid night for him. Only striking out 3, but he got the job done. He kept us in the ballgame, allowed the offense to do their job, and they certainly did their job. Gilbert going the other way for that RBI single to tie the game. So this certainly was a good night for the Phillies last night. We pick up the scoring summary here in the bottom of the second inning. Eric Hosmer homers on a fly ball to right field. Definitely a strange swing by Eric Hosmer. He always loves to uppercut, and he was able to drive that one out of the yard. And it's 1-0 San Diego here in the second. So Eric Hosmer has definitely been struggling over the last month. He definitely was off to a hot start to the season, even league and average for a while. And of course, he does Eric Hosmer things by just kind of falling off. Has one of the worst launch angles I think I've ever seen. The advanced stats are not pretty. Not the defender he used to be. He got that massive 8-year deal with the Padres back in the 17-18 offseason. That certainly was a mistake signing by the San Diego Padres. He only has 3 years left on his contract. It's hard to believe that he's already halfway through that contract. So 6 home runs now on the season for Hosmer, 1-0 Padres. Then we pick it up here in the top of the 5th inning. Odubel Herrera singles on a ground ball to left center field. That sneaks by Hyun-Soo Kim. Didi Gregorius comes around to score, and the Phillies now tie it at 1. So Odubel Herrera finally, drives in an RBI. Right, it's been quite a while. So he finally was able to get a big hit right there. Ties the game for the Phillies. El Torito getting the job done. You'll love to see that. So Hyun-Soo Kim with a diving attempt to no avail. So the Phillies tie it at 1. Then we pick it up here in the top of the 6th inning. Kyle Schwarbs does it again. He homered in the final game of the series against the Rangers on Wednesday, and he homers again last night. He homers on a fly ball to right center field. A 2-run shot. That also scores Bryson Stott. And the Phillies now take a 3-1 lead. So 20 home runs now for Schwarbs. Of course, he's done much better than Nick Castellanos has done this year. He's consistently collected extra base hits. He's consistently got on base. He's consistently driven in runs. I mean, Nick Castellanos' RBI total is pretty impressive, though. I definitely will say that. But so certainly impressive to see out of Kyle Schwarbs. Like I said, I would like to see him hit for a little bit of a higher average. But the home runs are definitely there. So 20 now on the year. Then we pick it up here in the same inning. JT Realmuto, he certainly needed this one as he homers on a fly ball the other way to right field. A 3-run shot also scores Harpin Castellanos, and the Phillies now take a 6-1 lead. So we now have a 5-run lead over this Padres team. Realmuto's 4th home run of the season. Only 4 home runs for JT. I mean, only 4 home runs. That's why the average is so. That is why his OPS is especially low, below 700, which is incredibly disappointing for a catcher who's getting paid $23 million a year. So he certainly needs to step his game up. But I love that he went the other way. First home run since May the 26th, so he definitely was due for one. I tell you who else is due for a home run. Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos. Especially Nick Castellanos. I'm going to be more hard on him, of course. So the Phillies now take a 6-1 lead. I mean, that's pretty much knew the ball game was over. That was the backbreaker, and Joe Musgrove hadn't allowed more than 2 runs in the start all year. My goodness gracious, we certainly shelled him last night. What did I say? On the recap Wednesday night, I said, a lot of flat, series in Texas. I mean, what an absolute disaster. I said, I could totally see us going out there to San Diego, hitting so well off of Joe Musgrove in San Diego. I just could totally see it, and that's exactly what happened. So I was right again. This team is just bizarre. I mean, you have an absolutely just flat performance. I mean, you can't even hit against the Texas Rangers. And you're going against the best pitcher, I mean, arguably in baseball, especially in the National League. He scores 6 off of them. This team is just so weird. And we pick it up here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Former Phil Jorge Alfaro grounds out the first base as Reese Haskins flipped to Sandy Dominguez covering. In the meantime, Trent Grissom around to score, and it's now a 6-2 ball game. The Padres get one of those runs back. But the Phillies now, still have a comfortable 4-run lead, and they will go over that score 6-2. Win the first game of the 4-game series out there in San Diego. Kyle Schwarbs at leadoff spot collects 2 knocks last night. The 2 RBIs on the 2-run home run to right center field. So certainly a good night last night for Schwarbs. A 218 average now. It's getting up there. An 842 OPS. His last 7 games, he's hitting 260. Last 15 games, he's hitting 250. And in his last 30, he's hitting 239. So the average is certainly getting up there day by day, right? I mean, slowly but surely, the batting average is starting to climb. 41 RBIs now for Schwarbs. I think that his season has met my expectations in a lot of ways. As I said, I would like to see him hit for a higher average. When it comes to the OPS, when it comes to the RBIs, when it comes to just, getting on base on a consistent basis, he's pretty much everything we asked for. I mean, he's not the best defender, of course, but one thing about Schwarbs is he does have a good arm out there in left field. That's one, thing I will say about him. Of course, he doesn't have any range, he doesn't have any speed, but he does have a decent arm, for sure, as we've seen in the past. Reese Haskins, he hit his performance last night, but was able to draw a walk. Average now drops below the 250 mark, now sits at 248. OPS now drops to 800. So this is a guy at OPS, his OPS was like climbing towards 850, now it's dropped all the way down to 800. Bryce Harper, 1 knock last night, the line drive single. He also was able to score on the JT Mitchell 3-run home run. So, back on the lap the second straight day. I mean, we need to see him hit a home run. The last home run he hit in Milwaukee, the final game of that series. And he has 15 home runs, 48 RBI. We need to see this guy hit a ball over the wall. Hopefully we will see that. Hit 2 home runs last year when we were out there in August in San Diego. Nick Castellanos collects a knock last night. Also scores on the JT Muto 3-run shot. Average still sits at 245. OPS sits at 690. So it's still below 700. So he certainly has a lot of work to do. Rank up those extra base hits. Get on base more. JT Realmuto, only one hit was a big one. The 3-run home run to right field. So he certainly needed that one. JT with a 676 OPS. So very, very disappointing. I mean, this is a guy, in 2019, who had a 821 OPS, in 2020 an 840 OPS. Even last year, a 782 OPS. So he's, dropped off even more year after year after year. And honestly, I believe he had a better year in 2019, even though the OPS was better in 2020. But he's just significantly dropped off more and more and more. So he really needs to get his act together. Diego Gorias collecting the first hit of the ball game for the Phillies last night. So that was nice to see, and he scores on the Odubel Herrera RBI single the other way to left center field that goes past the diving Hyun-Soo Kim. into left field. That was Herrera's only hit of the night. A 236 average now for Odubel. Alabama, a hitless performance last night. Average now drops to 252. And you want to talk about a low OPS, 633. A 633 OPS. So I talk about it every single time. Feels like I'm a broken record. The guy doesn't rank up the extra base hits. The guy does not walk. The guy just doesn't walk. He doesn't do the things that he should do. And he just hits singles to right field. He hits this folks singles to right field. That's all he does. Every beat, it seems like the single to right field, and he won't give you good defense. Yes, you understand it's been better recently, but that is Alec Bohm. Bryson Stott collects a knock last night, and he also scores one of the Phillies' 6 runs. And Ranger Schwartz, go take a look at his start. 7 1/3, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So, I mean, he's not the kind of guy, I mean, we've seen it before where he does really rank up the strikeouts. Usually, he's typically not the kind of guy that's going to rank up a lot of those strikeouts, right? So, he was the kind of the pitch to contact out guy last night. The defense did their job behind him, as the defense was very, very shaky on Wednesday afternoon in Texas, as pretty much has been all year. But 7 knocks, I mean, that's pretty much what he's going to give you. He managed to hit almost every inning. Of course, he did make it into the 8th inning and collected that one out, and then Rob Thompson took him out and brought in Seranthony Dominguez, who, of course, got the job done, as he always does. Seranthony Dominguez, a 1.69 1.69 ERA. I mean, a 1.69 ERA. But going back to Rangers Schwarbs for a little bit, I mean, his stuff looked pretty good last night. He was able to utilize it pretty well, and he got the results he wanted. Right? He collected outs. That's pretty much all we asked for. Just collect outs, whether it's strike out, a ground down, a fly out, just generate outs. That's all we asked for, and that's what he was able to do for us last night. So he did much more than just keep us in the ballgame. This wasn't like a Kyle Gibson story where he gave us 5-6 innings with 3 earned. I mean, he gave us 7 1/3. I mean, that's pretty decent. Only allowing 2. That's pretty darn good out of the back end of the rotation kind of guy. I really do. And Serena Dominguez, as I talked about, able to come in there and collect the final 2 outs of the 8th inning, collecting a strikeout. And Brad Hand, of course, he's going to do Brad Hand things. In that bottom 9th inning, a 1-2-3 bottom 9, a 2.11 ERA for Brad Hand. He continues to be worth every single last penny of that $6 million that Dave Dombrowski handed him after the lockout was over. So a nice Phillies win. I'm telling you, it was an above average win. This was a solid win. So we got to see 2 home runs last night. So Kyle Schwarber, he's going to be in the home run derby. I guarantee you, he's going to do it. He loves doing it. I guarantee you that he will do it. He's a power hitter. He's not the kind of guy like Bryce Harper or even like an Aaron Judge where it may mess up his swing. This is a guy that's just, there's certain guys that are just made for the home run derby, and Kyle Schwarber's one of them. Of course, made it to the final round in 18 against Bryce, and he lost. So this is a guy you're probably most likely going to be seeing in the home run derby. As I said, I mean, Aaron Judge having an MVP season over there for the Yankees. The Yankees 52-18. Got that walk-off single last night's arbitration hearing is today. He certainly should be paid more than Brian Cashman and the Yankees want to pay him. And I think it's ridiculous. I think it's an insult to him that what they're trying to offer him. I mean, it's the Yankees. They should be opening up their paycheck for him, man. I mean, I don't understand their method of thinking at all. So Aaron Judge continues to stay hot, going against the Houston Astros last night with another come-from-behind win. I understand that they have made it to the playoffs the past multiple seasons and just haven't done anything, but this feels different. This really does feel different. This feels like a different energy. This feels like a different team. If Aaron Judge can stay healthy, I understand this Yankee team has been decimated with injuries, but for at last they're finally healthy for them, and they are on an absolute tear. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons is they're actually healthy this year. Knock on wood for them. They're actually healthy this year, and that's why they're winning, I think. You know what I mean? They just have been decimated with injuries for so many years. But if they stay healthy, I could definitely see them winning the World Series hands down. I mean, this just feels like a different team to me. It really does in years past. Mets, as I did mention before, got swept out of that 2-game series down there in Houston. They're going to be taking on the Miami Marlins in a 3-game series at Citi Field, and then they welcome the Houston Astros to Citi Field for a 2-game series. 9:40 the first pitch tonight. Arnold takes them out 4-4 with a 3.11 ERA going against Gore. 4-3 with a 3.64 ERA. So hopefully we get to see another dominant start out of Aaron Nola. He was great last time he pitched at Petco Park last August, right? I mean, almost threw a no-hitter. Brad Miller really messed that up at first base. We all remember that. So hopefully we get to see another dominant start for Aaron Nola tonight. I mean, that's what I'm really hoping for. Honestly, I mean, as I said before in this video, I think it's kind of funny, right? I said on Wednesday afternoon, I said I could totally see us going against Joe Musgrove and just absolutely lighting him up. I mean, this is what the Phillies team does. They're very unpredictable. They just do a lot of weird things. I mean, they look really good sometimes and they look really awful at times. They're just an unpredictable team. They really are. So the Atlanta Braves unfortunately take 3 of 4 from the San Francisco Giants, and they now are just 4 back from the Mets. 4. We are 8 back at 37 and 34. This certainly is an interesting division, right? I mean, it's definitely getting close now with the Braves and the Mets. I mean, the Mets, I said it pretty much all year long. That's not just a lock for them to win this division. The Braves are not going to go down easy. I do not think the Phillies will win this division. I just don't. I mean, if the Phillies are going to make the playoffs, I believe it's going to be in a wild card spot. I do believe it will be either the Braves or the Mets that will win this division. I do believe that. I haven't really talked much about that, but I think now at this point in the season, at Game 71 last night, it's a time where you can kind of start to kind of make some judgments about what teams, where they stand in the standings. And I do believe that the Phillies do make it in. It's not going to be in the divisional race because the Braves have just gotten so hot over the last 3 weeks, and we've seen that the Mets have been pretty much playing good baseball all year long, despite having injuries. So I do not believe that the Phillies will win this division. I do think they have a chance to get in a wild card spot. I'm not saying that they will, but I believe they have a chance to get in a wild card spot. They're currently 2.5 out of a wild card spot as the Giants are ahead of them, only a half game back from the St. Louis Cardinals, and Milwaukee Brewers have a 40-32 tie. I mean, that NL Central division is weak right now, man. I mean, weak. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media. Link is in the description section at Phillies on social media, Instagram, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Media. Card text 267-225-3292. Email me philliesonstudmedia@gmail.com. So at 9:40, the first pitch tonight, Noah Gore. I'm looking out. Talk to you later. Let's go, Phillies. See you guys.